What is going on, Player Profiler Nation? My name is Seth Dewald, editor at playerprofiler.com, here today to give you every first round pick in your Superflex rookie draft. What is it worth? We're going to break down picks 1 through 12, assuming it's a 12-person league. To do that, we're going to use my personal rankings. We're going to use Player Profiler's rankings. And yes, we're going to use Keep Trade Cut to give you an idea of what the public is thinking. So without further ado, here we go. We're going to start with the 101. This is the first pick in your Superflex Dynasty rookie draft, and it is extremely valuable because it's one of Marvin Harrison Jr. or Caleb Williams, barring some unforeseen circumstance. Both these players have been called generational talents by popular analysts and scouts alike. Both of these players are going to be top 5 picks in the NFL draft, with Caleb Williams likely being the number 1 overall pick. The simple explanation is this pick is worth a lot. And therefore, if you hold the 101, you need to be extremely diligent when attempting to trade this pick. Currently, I have Marvin Harrison Jr. as the number 14 player in my Dynasty Superflex rankings. I have Caleb Williams right behind him at number 17 overall in those same rankings. Therefore, in order to trade this pick, a Dynasty gamer is going to need to get like a player such as Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, plus a little bit extra. And my guess is the 101 could go for even more. An extremely reliable fantasy quarterback like Dak Prescott, for example, plus other rookie picks could be on the table as well. And the best advice that I can give is to be patient with this pick. It's going to be wise to wait as long as possible before making a decision to see which offers come in. Simply put, the pick is worth a lot. This is a good rookie draft. And if a Dynasty gamer decides to trade it, they need to get a haul for it. The next pick is the 102. And again, this pick's going to be valued very similarly to the 101 because it's either Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison Jr. And therefore, the best way to get exposure to one of those two players is to try to trade up, not to the 101, but to the 102, because it's going to be valued slightly less than the 101, but it probably shouldn't be because these players are likely going to be flipped around 101, 102, depending on your league, depending on need for a quarterback at the 101. Therefore, a similar haul is going to be required for me personally to move off this pick. Generally, if a Dynasty gamer holds either the 101 or 102, their team is likely in need of a lot of pieces. And this could be a tremendous opportunity to hold this pick as long as possible to ensure the best possible return. It is important to repeat and reiterate that there is no rush to make a move. It's important to be patient, get the best offer to ensure the best possible return. The 103 is a tier down for me personally, but still, the players here are going to be phenomenal. The pick is likely going to be Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, Jaden Daniels, or Drake May. There's no doubt that these players are going to be coveted by Dynasty gamers everywhere. This pick should be valued close to a 3rd or 4th round startup because last year we saw Bryce Young, CJ Stroud come off the board in Dynasty Superflex startups in the 3rd round. It wouldn't shock me to see Drake May come off there. It wouldn't shock me if Jaden Daniels is drafted in the 3rd round of a Superflex startup. So in terms of players, the 103 is likely going to be closely valued to players like Jalen Waddle, AJ Brown, Chris Olave, or Brandon Ayuk. It's possible the pick may be even worth a little bit more than that, especially if a member of your league is desperate for a quarterback. In terms of rookie draft picks, it would likely require a late 1st rounder. We're talking the 109 through the 112, plus a 1st rounder in 2025, plus a 2nd round pick in this draft to move up to the 103. And it might even require more than that, but that's just a ballpark of what I think could be a return for the 103 because I mean, Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, these players are going to be highly drafted. So again, there's no rush to trade this pick if you're looking to trade the 103. The 104, if Dynasty gamers are in need of a quarterback, this is the part of the draft that is likely going to be easier to trade up to, the 104, 105, 106, if there's still a quarterback left on the board. With that being said, the 104 is still an extremely valuable pick. With the 104, one of Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, or Drake May, again, are going to be on the board in this spot. Therefore, it's likely going to require a player like DJ Moore, Kyron Williams, Devon Achane, or even Justin Fields, depending on where he ends up and if he's a starter, plus some extra rookie draft capital to move up to this spot. This could be a nice opportunity to move off of a player like Kyron Williams or Justin Fields if you feel like their value is going to drop off, to move up in a rookie draft to select a quarterback or the best rookie wide receiver on the board. In terms of rookie draft capital, it is still going to require at least a late first round plus an additional first rounder in 2025 to make this deal happen. Players like Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk, or Chris Olave, again, same kind of tier of players, could likely be traded for this pick straight up. Moving on to the 105. Again, this is a nice part of the draft I am personally going to be looking to trade up into if I have later first round picks. There will still be a nice quarterback on the board. Probably one of Drake May or Jaden Daniels could be available here. If not, one of the top wide receivers like a Dunze, maybe a Bowers, could be available at the 105. So it probably won't cost as much to move up to the 105, but it probably should. I mean, players like DJ Moore, Achane, Kyron Williams, Jonathan Taylor could be traded for this pick straight up. However, in some cases, it may not require that much depending on how the dynasty managers in your leagues value those rookie picks. This feels like a good spot to trade up to, as it likely won't cost as much as it would to move up to the 103 or maybe even the 104. I mean, dynasty gamers sometimes can get hung up on the pick number instead of the player that can be selected with that pick. So simply put, the middle of the first round could be a nice opportunity to flip some veterans for some nice 2024 rookie assets. The 106, I will reiterate that this is going to be a good spot of the draft to trade up to, as likely Rome Odunze, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers. One of those players is likely going to be on the board. Because of that fact, this pick is going to be valued very similarly to the 105. Therefore, the same player pool would likely still be in play for this pick. DJ Moore, Devon Achane, Kyron Williams, Jonathan Taylor, that kind of tier of players is probably what you could get if you're looking to trade the 106. If you're looking to, yet again, it may not require that much to move up to this pick. The 105 to 107 is a spot in this draft that is going to have a lot of dynasty value for dynasty gamers because of the players that are going to be available to you in the draft. The 107 is the last of my tier 2 in my Superflex rookie rankings. Therefore, it's the last place in the rookie draft that I personally would be willing to trade up to. This is the stage of the rookie draft where it might be possible to trade away a veteran like Saquon Barkley, Stephon Diggs to get the last wide receiver in a tier, but it likely won't even cost that much. If I can use a 111 plus my second rounder to move up to this spot, that's a move I'd make, because you're probably looking at Rome Odunze here, who's going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, for sure top 15. So for me, this is kind of where it breaks off as far as tiers go. The 108, the consensus pick here, according to many analysts and Keep Trade Cut, is likely going to be Brian Thomas Jr. However, Troy Franklin could also be in play at the 108. In terms of players that I think this pick is worth, we're talking like James Cook, Jaden Reed, George Pickens potentially, or a player like Terry McLaurin, are all going to be valued around where Brian Thomas Jr. is currently ranked according to Keep Trade Cut. Every league is different, so it's important to use those negotiation skills. And this is a disclaimer for the rest of the picks in the first round. It's very unpredictable how leagues are going to value these rookie picks. More information is going to come out. We're going to learn more about these players at the NFL Combine. So it might be possible to trade down from this spot and pick up multiple rookie picks in future drafts. The 108 is the spot in the draft where I am most likely going to look to move down personally. This pick could also net some veteran players if you're looking to compete now, and we'll talk about some of those veterans later on in the video. At the 109, according to Keep Trade Cut, this pick is JJ McCarthy. It is possible that a member of your dynasty league is willing to move heaven and earth to move up for McCarthy, and if that is the case, then this pick could be very valuable to some. However, this is still a part of the draft where I'm looking to move down. It might be possible to move a few spots and pick up multiple seconds, for example. That's a move I would consider. In terms of players, this is an excellent opportunity for a win now team to get some veterans. It might be possible to acquire a player like Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, or Mike Evans, plus some extra draft capital in exchange for this pick. A move like that is something I definitely would consider if my team is a win now team. At the 110, the consensus 110, Keep Trade Cut would say Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin personally is my wide receiver 4 and my number 8 overall player in Superflex formats. However, I'm still putting this pick on the trade block to see what I can get for it. If a Dynasty gamer has the 110, it means they finished just outside of the championship game. Trading the 110 for a veteran player plus an extra draft pick, as we discussed with the 109, might be the perfect move to make, especially in this draft that has a ton of depth. This is also the section of a rookie draft where it may be possible to acquire a 2025 first rounder plus something extra. At the 111, again, this is the stage of the draft where it might be possible to get a 2025 first round pick next year. In general, that's a good move to make. If a 2025 first round pick can be acquired, I'd say normally go for it. However, that's not typically how I like to dynasty, especially if I just missed out on the championship last year. If I have the 111, then it's more likely than not that your team is built to win now, or if you have the 111. Trading that pick for a veteran player or two is the way I prefer to go if you want something for sure locked in that's going to help you compete in 2024. A running back like David Montgomery or Rachaad White could be acquired, or veteran players like Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, or maybe even Stephon Diggs could be had for this pick. It might even be worth kicking the tires on a George Pickens or a Jackson Smith-Njigba. Some people have soured on him. I would be willing to trade this pick for Jackson Smith-Njigba if that deal is on the table. It's very likely that more can be had on top of some of those players. Sure, I mean, every league values players differently, so you just never know. Those are just some that I would throw out there that I feel are close to this pick, but you let me know what you think in the comments. Last but not least, it's the 112, and it won't hurt to see if it's possible to get a 2025 first round pick in exchange for the 112. Again, every league is different. The pick could be a quarterback like Bo Nix or Michael Penix. Perhaps Keon Coleman could rise up the rankings depending on where he gets selected. For me personally, this is a section of the draft I'm still looking to move out of. If I can secure a veteran to help my team, especially if I won the championship last year, which you have the 112, you likely won the championship. Congratulations. I would continue to push my chips in to try to win that championship instead of taking a chance on a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix or a Keon Coleman. I would look to trade that pick for a veteran that's going to help me for the next 2 to 3 years secure multiple championships. And that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, fix your life, and stay tuned to Player Profiler throughout the entire offseason for more Dynasty content, more rookie drafts, more best ball content. We've got it all covered for you at Player Profiler. So subscribe now.